Hello everyone and welcome back to Almost There, a twisted tale novel. I'm your host Zach and welcome back to Disney Magic Zach here on YouTube. Hope you're all doing fantastic today. If you've not caught up with the latest episode, I implore you to do so and catch up with the series as well if you are new here. But following on, we are on chapter 10 and we're doing good. Again, very excited to see where this goes. So let's just dive into it. Back so soon? Her daddy asked as soon as Tiana stepped into the kitchen. She walked over to where he stood before the cooker, tending to a large cast iron skillet with several fillets of golden brown catfish. Tiana picked up a spatula and nudged the catfish, causing the hot oil to sizzle even more. I can't spend all night out there, she said in a shaky voice. Goodness, how could simply seeing Naveen rattle her this much? It's unfair to leave you here with all the work. Tiana tacked on, hoping her daddy bought her excuse. I told you I have everything under control, baby girl, he replied. Go and enjoy yourself a little while longer. I don't think... Tia! Charlotte burst through the swinging door, whizzing around the kitchen like a tornado. She came upon Tiana and plopped her hand on her hip. Didn't you even hear me calling you out there? Oh, laddie, hey! Tiana forced as much false cheer into her voice as she could muster. No, I didn't hear you, she lied. It's so noisy out there with the band and all. Hello there, Charlotte, James greeted. Glad to see you could make it here tonight. Hey there, Mr. James. Letty waved to him before grabbing hold of Tiana's arm. You don't mind if I steal Tia for a spell, do you? I promised to have her back here before the second dinner rush. No problem at all, her daddy said. I was just telling her to go out there and enjoy the band. Yeah, the music is fabulous tonight and I have the best seat in the house, so come and join me. Tiana wanted to dig in her heels, literally, as Lottie tugged at her arm, but she stood no chance when pitted against both her best friend and her daddy. Instead, she braced herself for the impact of having to be near Naveen and pretend he had no effect whatsoever on her. She was no Evelyn Prey, but a few months of this and her acting skills might get her all the way to Hollywood. But when they arrived at Charlotte's table, it was empty, save for two dishes that held the remnants of the pasta jambalaya both had eaten tonight. Tiana was confused by the unquivering mix of relief and disappointment that assaulted her at finding Naveen's chair unoccupied. Where's Naveen? Tiana asked. Did he leave? He better not have, Charlotte said, looking around. She gasped and pointed to the centre of the room. Oh my word, look at the dance floor, Tia. Tiana swung around and did a double take. Was that Naveen dancing with her mother? Goodness! Just look at Miss Eudora out there cutting a rug. Charlotte clapped excitedly. Who knew your mama was such a hoot? I sure didn't. Tiana had to admit it was nice to see her mother having a good time. She just wished it were with somebody else. Tiana had no doubt her mother was talking her up. You look great, by the way, Charlotte said as she reclaimed her seat. Did your mama make that dress? Tiana looked down at the simple yellow and white gingham sheath. It was one of her nicer dresses. It was nothing compared to the creations Charlotte wore every day. Creations that Tiana's mother had made with her own two hands. Actually, I made this one myself, Tiana preened as she sat. I guess I inherited skills from both Mama and Daddy. Oh, Tia, you are just unbelievable. I wish I had half of your talent. Charlotte lifted her hands in the air in a wistful voice. She said, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm good at doing. I'm not sure I'll ever figure it out. Don't talk that way about yourself, Lottie. You can do amazing things if you put your mind to it. Tiana reached across the table and gave Charlotte's hand a reassuring squeeze. I know you can. Maybe, her friend said with a shrug. I do have a knack for shopping. Maybe I can do that professionally one day. That's a thought, Tiana finished. She had never heard of such a job, but if there were ever a job out there for Lottie, that would be the one. Suddenly Charlotte looked at her, seriously squeezing Tiana's hand. Hey Tia, I miss you. I know you're busy, but I feel like maybe you've been avoiding me. Oh, no, I haven't been avoiding you, Tiana added silently. Good. Charlotte suddenly brightened. Then you can come over to Maison Blanc with me tomorrow, please? Miss Eudora's making my dress for my Mardi Gras ball, but I have about half a dozen others to attend over the next 5 days. I need a different gown for all of them. I need your help picking them out. Maybe you can get something too. I'd love for you to join me for some of these parties. Tiana hesitated. She'd never had time to go shopping with Charlotte before. Please. Charlotte looked so genuinely hopeful. Tiana felt a twinge of guilt for not spending much time with her friend this past year. Well, I don't think I'll have time for parties, Tiana started. She watched her friend deflate a little. but I'll go with you tomorrow, as long as we're done in time for me to get back here so I can start prepping for our big Mardi Gras kickoff, Tiana added. Eep. Charlotte got up and threw her arms around Tiana. Yes, alright, deal. Gosh, I still can't believe you have Rudy Davis and the All-Stars playing at your supper club. It's going to be fabulous. She moved to sit back down. And speaking of, oh, Tia, how could I forget to tell you? I had an epiphany today. Another one? Tiana couldn't help laughing. She had missed Charlotte's unflappable energy. Yes, a real one this time. Are you ready for this? Ready as I'll ever be, Tiana said. You know how much I love art, right? Naveen and I are always at the museum together. Yes, I know, Tiana said, praying her envy didn't show on her face. Well, I've discovered that I love British art. And you know the best place to see British art? In England, Tiana asked. That's right. Charlotte waved her hands in the air. You see, if I tell Big Daddy that I want to study with the artists who live in London, then he has to send me there because it's educational. And while I educate myself on British art, I can search for my Duke, she squealed. Isn't my plan the best? It sounds like the bee's knees to me, Tiana said. It's just brilliant, and I know it will work. Besides, I need to do something. Big Daddy has brought that dull Ruben Du Bois round again. The band brought their song to a close, and Louis announced that they would be taking a 10-minute break. Panic surged through Tiana as the band members set down their instruments. She quickly glanced to the dance floor and spotted Naveen striding towards them, his charming smile as bright as always. Her heart immediately began to thump wildly within her chest. For a moment she couldn't breathe. Lottie, I need to get back to the kitchen. But Mr. James said that you should sit and enjoy the band. They'll be back to playing in just a bit. No, really, I have to go, Tiana said. She stood and moved swiftly through the maze of tables to the kitchen. Before pushing past the swinging door, she chanced to glance over her shoulder. Naveen had stopped in his tracks. A light had drained from his eyes, and a look of hurt and confusion had taken its place. Tiana bypassed the cooking and serving areas and headed for the small storeroom. She closed herself inside of it and plopped down on an empty milk crate, sucking in several breaths as she tried to calm her erratically beating heart. Who knew you were such a coward, Tiana whispered. After agreeing to Facilier's deal, Tiana had selfishly hoped that Naveen would return to Maldonia. It would have made things easier for her, but then she knew that wasn't true. It didn't matter where he lived. This private agony of knowing what she had given up would remain. It's been a year. She had to find a way to move on. She could not go on like this, feeling such heartache every time she saw him. Has anyone seen Tia? Charlotte's voice carried throughout the kitchen. Tiana closed her eyes and counted the seconds until her friend would find her. It didn't take long. Charlotte knocked twice on the door to the storeroom before opening. Tia, she called, what are you doing in here? Why did you run away again like that? I'm sorry, Lottie, I've got too much to do. Really? Charlotte drawled. She cocked her hip to the side and perched her fist on it. I can tell. You're so very busy right now sitting in a closet, she peered at Tiana. Do you know what I think? I think maybe you've been avoiding someone after all, and maybe that someone is Naveen. The question is why? Lottie, please. I want to know, Tia. Is it because you're... But before Lottie could finish, Louis burst through the partial open door. We've got a problem. Oh, dear me. Well, that's a bit of a cliffhanger, isn't it? Well, we'll have to see what happens in the next episode, but for now, thank you so much for joining me here on this episode. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will see y'all in the next one. Till then, much love. Peace.